Okay, so we look at these two shots here now. The before on the left-hand side was kind of your very high lofted, potentially hitting the ground, potentially thinning it, or slicing your longer game shots, okay? All caused by the movement, or lack thereof, should you say, of this left hip, okay? So as you swung back here now, good pivot on the way back, nice shoulder turn, okay? We want that hip to now start moving into the goal. So you almost see now before that club starts coming down, already it's rotated. There's no real shift there. It's a rotation, never gets back to that yellow line. And then impact there. Now the ball now is being hit at that launch angle with your hands way back here. So this one on the right is kind of your after, and this is kind of how I want you to try and practice if you can. Again, using the numbers on there as a guide. Get yourself to the top of the backswing. Perhaps go a bit further in your backswing, but now from here, exaggerate the absolute heck out of it to get yourself there, yeah? So look how far forward you are there. And that's ridiculously too far forward, obviously, but you'll never get there when you put the goalpost in the way. Hence why we're watching that guy before, that Alex Noren, doing that real kind of contorted movement. Doesn't make the goalpost that way, but this move here now is a complete opposite in some ways to that one there. So you'll get to the top of the backswing, do that bump, and then move. Really get a feeling for doing that. Then when you step to the golf ball, the club goes down at about 11 seconds. Your feet get set, one wag on, you're going, and now watch your hips. Look at that, you see? Much better. And then look at okay, so impact before, your hands were about there, weren't they? Look at the 2 inches there where your right arm is there. It's about there. Now, the ball's not been struck yet. The next one is the golf impact. Next frame, there. There's impact. Your arm.
Right.
Your hands now in the middle part of your legs here, whereas this one, they're back there.
Yeah.
And the launch angle off that golf ball, compared to that one there. So you were nowhere near that exaggerated practice movement you were making. I mean, that's nowhere near where you were.
Yeah, but it's got me into the position.
You weren't there, were you? If you did that, you probably missed the ball. Because the club's way too far. And look how wide open that face is. That's going to go miles right, which you're not going to do. But by exaggerating that 3 times, sets the golf ball, bang. And then the movement there. Again, a bit strong off on the follow through, but again, it's a position we can get into and showcase how we strike that golf ball.
There's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't be doing that out there on the tee box.
Yeah, exactly. My well, physically you can do it, you see, and that's what I say, on the golf course, do your practice moves. I mean, even someone like Noren on the golf course, you'll see him doing these sort of like contorted moves. Not every time. If he starts having a few swings where he feels a bit kind of the old hips are popping forward again, not going the right way, he'll exaggerate the movement the other way.
Jordan Spieth is doing something like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you see his flamer in. Yeah, Tiger did it for a long time, over the top. Jimenez was always over the top with his practice swing. Who else has got a bit of a quirky one? Spieth's got a bit unique in the last few weeks, hasn't he? They've all got their own kind of movements, but they've all got their own tendencies. So let's fix your tendencies and go at the opposite end to them, and then we'll try and find that, Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
So when you're hitting the ball, the bag's aim. That's the bit.
I mean, I've got ties here, so I want to...
That's fine.
You seem to get me...
up against the bag there. Now see...
my foot against the bag,
is it? Foot against the wall, and you're making some small backs into the roots with you, right? And then from there you go. Good, that's it, Okay. What wins the race? If the club head wins the race, the loft's been added, up in the air. Wedges go high and thin and fat, and then irons and long clubs tend to be a bit slicey across to the right. Hands and hips will win the race. That club head comes in more under control because you're... Think of it this way. If you had one of those kids' trolleys or trikes, you had to push it with your finger, it would be very hard to control. If you're going to pull it, more control. If your hands are in front kind of pulling the club through, it's a lot more control. If your hands are behind pushing the club through, you can control the face a lot more. A pulling action's got a lot more control than that kind of pushing, So in terms of controlling the face... Hands being in front to give you more control of the face than they would if the hands are behind. That's what we're trying to really get into, Make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Excellent, good stuff.
Again,